Hey everybody, Sean Hatzel here, the owner of Get Lean in 12, and inside this short fat loss video, I'm going to teach you exactly how many grams of carbs you should be eating per day based on your activity level to lose belly fat as fast as possible. And I'm going to talk about three different levels: sedentary, moderately active, and then high intensity exercisers or endurance athletes. Now, if you're scrolling through your feed, you're watching this, you're not familiar with me or don't know who I am, I'm a stubborn fat expert. I've been doing this over 20 years now. The last 5 years alone, my wife Karen and I have helped over 100,000 people across the globe with our products and services, and we're also grandparents to 3 beautiful grandkids. So let's quickly talk about how to manipulate carb intake for faster fat loss based on your activity level. So if you're sedentary, your metabolic demands and needs are going to be totally different from people who are active. So if you're sedentary, that's why I recommend that you go very low carb and you keep your impact carbs under 50 grams per day about 6 days of the week. I would go ahead and have one high carb day if you're in this camp. So if you're sitting all day and you're sedentary and you're not active, the only carbs you want to have is probably small amounts of berries and then residual carbs from the other proteins, fats, and vegetables that you eat. Remember, when we talk about impact carbs, we're talking about the carbs that impact insulin and blood sugar. So we're not talking about fibrous carbs. So if you want the total impact carb intake of any meal, just take the total carb grams, subtract the fiber grams, and what's left over is your impact carb intake. So if you're sedentary, I recommend your impact carbs is under 50 grams per day. If you're moderately active, I recommend that you intentionally consume paleolithic type of carbs, so paleo carbs. So you can still have some potatoes, you can still have some yams, you can still have some squash. Just make sure you avoid processed foods, and you're going to want to consume these carbohydrates in your post-workout window. So remember, research shows that after you're done working out, there's about a 2 to 3 hour window where your body's ability to absorb glycogen, which is just stored energy from the carbohydrates that you eat, to store glycogen in muscle tissue and in liver tissue. So your muscles are almost like a sponge that's been wrung dry, and they want to suck up those carbohydrates. So post-workout is the best time to consume these. The third category is a high-intensity exerciser or an endurance athlete, and this is where the category that I fall into, where I'm going to intentionally be adding starches back into my diets, particularly white rice, potatoes, oatmeal, yams, squash, ripe fruits, especially bananas, which contain a lot of sugar. These are the carbs that are desirable by a high-intensity exerciser, because if you don't eat these carbs and you exercise intensely 6 to 7 days a week, you're going to end up suppressing your thyroid, slowing down your metabolism, lowering your leptin levels, and decreasing your insulin sensitivity. So these are the carbs you want to have post-workout on a daily basis if you want to lose belly fat as fast as possible. So as far as gram ranges go, if you're moderately active, you want to be around 100 to 150 grams per day. If you're in a high intensity category like myself, you're going to up that to 200 to 250 grams per day if your goal is to lose weight. Remember, if your goal is to gain muscle, the approach totally changes. Now, if you're wondering how to do this the right way, with the right food combinations, the right timing, the right portion control, these are all key elements to make this work. And somewhere around this video, you're going to see a link that you can click or tap. And you're going to learn all about my proprietary carb cycling method called macro patterning. It teaches you how you can still eat lots of carbs and still lose belly fat. Now, if you got something out of this video, make sure you like it, make sure you share it. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to check this out. Keep going strong.